just feel free to share whatever you'd like to share with us.
All right. First off, I've learned everything from Karen, so y'all are in great hands. So yeah, for those of you who don't know me, I am Chelsea Otto. I've been with Scentsy for 8 years. 8 years. It literally blows my mind. I've never been with anything that long. But here we are. And, you know, I feel like it's been a learning experience since day one. The way that I worked my business back in 2012 is completely different than how I work it now. And how I lead is very different as well. So first things first is you need to let yourself and allow yourself to evolve in this company. What works for you now, I promise you, probably won't work 5 to 10 years from now, because things are always going to be evolving. Social media is evolving. Social media wasn't this heavy when I first started. It was like just in the beginning stages. So I kind of grew with social media with Scentsy. So I had to learn. And that's another thing. You guys have to allow yourselves to learn new ways with social media in order to really attract people. And who are you talking to? Who's your audience, right? So when I really started diving into social media with my personal business was through Facebook. That was like the very beginning of everything for me. And people didn't, back home in Dayton, Ohio, that's where we're originally from. My husband's in the Marine Corps, so we're all over the place. And they didn't know about Scentsy. So it was me literally having to show them through social media. At first, you know, I like I said, or like Karen said, she wasn't my original sponsor. She's my third, actually. So I had to get through a couple crazy ones to get to her. So I had to teach myself. I had to teach myself how to do social media and how to properly market Scentsy without marketing, if that makes sense. So you know what I did? I literally just started sharing. I started sharing why I love the product. I started sharing, and this was probably out of compliance back in the day, but nobody told me, so it's fine for then. But like the good and the bad versus Scentsy and Walmart, like all that stuff, like I just educated people. And as my business has grown and as my team has grown, I've learned that things were different and I shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z. And that's why I said you have to allow yourself to evolve. You have to allow yourself to make mistakes in this business and on social media, like it's okay. But what really helped was putting my story in social media, putting my story out there for people to relate. When we first started, we were literally broke as a joke, like couch cushion flipping, digging into our car seat, begging, like praying that there was change in there so we could get food, we could get diapers for our son. Like we would write checks and pray to God it would not bounce. Like that's how bad it was. So I was embarrassed about that in the beginning. I was so embarrassed. But then I got comfortable. Like I became okay and secure in the fact that that was part of our journey. And when I started sharing that, when I started saying, girl, I've been there, like literally that's how I talk to people. Like, girl, I've been there. I know exactly what you're going through, but let me show you another way. People started truly reaching out and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm in that position that you're in right now. How do I get out of it? And I tell them, hey, let me show you. Let me just show you. That's all you really have to tell somebody. You don't have to go out there and be like, you can earn a free trip. You can make this much money. You can do that. No, let me just show you how you can get out of debt. Let me show you how you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have that in the beginning. And if I probably would be about way ahead in my business if Karen was my sponsor, right? But I didn't. And I'm kind of glad that she wasn't, because I had to learn. I had to fail forward. I had to make mistakes and I had to figure it out on my own. And if I wouldn't have been able to figure it out, I wouldn't have been able to get the confidence in my story and who I was to be able to present it to people so they can relate. Now, it's scary going out there and talking about personal things, right? Like being vulnerable is something that people are like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. And I was that way. I was scared out of my britches to talk about how I felt being vulnerable, that we were broke, that our marriage had issues, and all these things. Like, it's hard to talk about those things because you're instantly like, I don't want to be judged. Guess what? I think it was Joe McCarthy last night on United We Rise. She also said, listen, you're going to be judged no matter what you do in life. So just do it. Just do it. Doesn't matter. So when I really started diving into my story and tying my story in with my business, that's when everything changed. Y'all, I was that type of consultant that would say, I wasn't a high PRV person. I can't get sales. Like, I just focused so heavily on recruiting. And how I grew, I heard someone say when I first came on, they need to grow a team. Well, all of this ties into your story and how you properly present it on social media and how you properly share it and how your authenticity needs to come through you and attract people by being real, like 100% real. You know, I'm a military spouse. So I lived on base in every place that we lived at. So my audience was military spouses. That's who I was targeting, not targeting, but that's who my audience was. That's who I was talking to. Like, listen, girl, I know what you're going through. We've been there. My husband's a Marine too. We've lived on base. I didn't have anything for myself. Like, I needed to find friends. Like, I've been there and I've gone through it. Let me continue to show you. And so it's all about relating with the people that you're talking to. And if you don't know your audience, if you don't know who you're talking to on social media, you need to figure that out first. So first it was military spouses. And the cool thing is, when I would sit there and talk to them, I would be like, listen, you have a whole tribe of military spouses that you'd be joining. And I would always bring Karen. Karen's a prior military spouse too. So she understands it. So it's not just me. There's so many other people. And I've learned that when people know that they have like a tribe of people to back them up, they feel more comfortable. So it's not just me that they're talking to. Like, I always, without a doubt, bring in my group when I'm in these conversations with people. And I say, listen, you're going to join an entire group and a community of men and women from all over who are ready to just help you get out of debt, help you find you, help you do whatever you need this business to do for you. And when they know that, they feel comfortable, and it's like that extra push that they need to do. And so when I really encourage you guys first to figure out who you're talking to on social media. Who are you? It's like you're talking to your friend. Who are you talking to? Right? Like, and you need to be genuine when you talk to these people, like with no hidden agendas of like, okay, I need to earn incentive points. I need to do this. I need to earn annual mentor or annual sales. Like, get that out of your head when you talk to people, because it's never about you when you're talking to your audience. It should never be about you. It should be about how you can help them. Now, I started really diving into, when my business kept growing on Facebook, I started really diving into Instagram. I've had Instagram for a while now, but I didn't really start diving in until I'd say right before we moved to Japan. And I didn't want to talk. Like, I hated my voice for so long on social media and on Instagram, because I would hear it play back and I'm like, that's what I sound like. Oh God. Okay. Of course these people don't want to listen to that. But at that moment, when I knew that I had to make my business work and I had to target certain audience and share certain things, I had to let that go. I had to let the fear of them maybe not, like, I was assuming that they didn't want to talk to me or like listen to what I had to say. Like, who's this girl? What? She doesn't bring anything to the table. That's what I used to tell myself. But when I was like, listen, you do bring something to the table. You do have value, Chelsea. You are doing this and you have earned that. You do bring value. It's all about that self-talk. So when you start talking positive to yourself and reminding yourself that you are worthy, that confidence is going to go straight into your social media. It's going to go right into your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories, whatever stories that you do. And you start talking about things that you're passionate about. And I just don't go on there. I don't share flyers. I take pictures, like real, authentic pictures. Like today, I was just taking pictures of my wall fan diffuser that I have in my hotel room. And I'm going to be sharing that. I'm not doing any stock photos. People don't need to see stock photos. I personally hate stock photos of any type of company because they never actually look like their stock photos, right? Like, it's like the whole McDonald's theme. Like, their burgers look perfect on their commercials, right? But in reality, it's a hot mess. It is a mess. So I'd rather see the reality versus the fake picture, right? So, and I also like sharing how I decorate it. So when I really started tying in how I decorate, like my personality in with decorating and with Scentsy, man, at like a whole new level of my business just started. Like, and it was something that I knew I've always loved decorating, but it was a side of me that I was like, I decorate really funky. Like, no one's going to like what I like. But that was, once again, me speaking negatively and me assuming that people don't want to see what I bring to the table. But that's wrong. That's lies. So I started tying in my funky decor with Scentsy. And guess what? It took off. People were like, I want to go to Home Goods and buy that so I can put it with this warmer. So not only am I earning PRV, I'm helping these other stores. They should probably sponsor me, right? But I'm helping these other stores bring in income, but I'm also showing people that certain warmers can be all year round warmers. I can show them how one warmer could be a great Christmas warmer, or one warmer could be perfect for a nursery. You know what I mean? Just tying Scentsy in with decor and in within my personality. And it's just been a game changer. And also, I really started coming on social media and being very vulnerable. I said that a little bit ago about being vulnerable. Being vulnerable has truly helped my business, like all over, with my team, with my customers, with potential new team members, all the things. Because it is, well, actually my story is not that relatable right now, but it's got their attention. Because now they're like, what's next in Chelsea's life? What's next? How is Scentsy going to help her next? Like, they've seen my story. They've seen it. They know that Scentsy has helped me, not just financially, y'all. Scentsy is way more than just a financial gain. It's a personal gain. It's a confidence gain. They've seen me go through probably hell and high water to get to exactly where I'm at today. And so it's just like, what's next? What's Scentsy gonna help Chelsea with next? Like, it's just an eager thing because I kept them on this journey for so long, and they're gonna continue getting a what's next for Chelsea because of Scentsy, and what's the next trip that she's gonna go on, or you know what I mean? Like, it's just a lifestyle now. Like, and one thing I've learned, that Scentsy isn't our life. It's not our life. Scentsy is just a part of it. So what I want you guys to do is to start sharing your life. It doesn't have to be the nitty gritty of your life. You don't have to do that. I encourage you to share some very vulnerable times. Not all the things, though. Some things do need to keep, private. But sharing hard times, or sharing where you've felt insecure, but you've overcome that by doing X, Y, and Z. And if Scentsy helped you with that, share that, because people are going to attract to that. That's relatable. If I shared a story right now and I said, listen, no, this is not true, by the way, but like, we're out and we're going to go buy a yacht and a Lamborghini and all this stuff because of Scentsy. Is that really relatable? Is that going to attract people? I mean, they'll probably look at me and be like, she's a wannabe Kardashian, but that's not me. I can't do that. But if I say, listen, and I've shared this, if you ever go to my my Facebook or my Instagram, I shared a picture of me next to my filled fridge, like full of food. And I said, I remember the time where we used to always be broke, where we could never afford to have a full fridge of food. But now, because of Scentsy, we can. And I did it on an opposite week of military payday. That's relatable. Because guess who I'm talking to? I'm talking to that military spouse who is stretching pennies to get to payday, who is using their credit card, praying that her husband who's deployed doesn't ever see that credit card statement, right? That's who I'm talking to. I'm also talking to the moms who stay at home and aren't working. I mean, we stay at home moms, we work 24/7, 7 days a week, but they don't feel like they're working because they're not bringing home an income to help fill up their fridge. It's all about and who you're talking to and who your audience is. Now, your audience is going to forever change, and you want your audience to change, because if it doesn't change, that means you're not talking to enough people, and that means your business is stagnant. And it's going to change, and you have to allow it to change. You can't just be doing one. Like, if I did this whole military story over and over and over again, I'm going to be talking to the same people every single time, every single day, every single month, every single year. That's going to get boring. I'm going to be completely honest, doing the same story over and over and over again. But now I'm talking to people, I'm looking at the people who are going through obstacles in life that are so freaking hard to get over. And I'm going to show them and share with them, listen, I know what you're going through. I'm going through it. I've been through it. I'm going through it. And this is what I'm doing to help me. And and know that it's okay to not be okay. And this is how Scentsy naturally comes into my stories. I don't force Scentsy into my stories. I don't force Scentsy onto my social media. You have to be somebody that you want people to come watch you. Like, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard because I don't want anyone to go out of their way just to evolve their life around what people want, right? Like, you just need to show up for you and find out who you're talking to, figure out who your audience is, and see how you can help serve them. I mean, as a leader, our job is to serve people. We serve people. That's what we do. It's never about us. And that's the thing. When we are sharing our vulnerable side and our stories and our hard times and our good times and our times that we're celebrating, we're serving somebody. Because guess what? You could be giving somebody hope. You could be giving that brand new consultant hope that one day they could get to where you're at. I remember I got a Christmas card when I first joined, and I was like, who is Karen and Steve Fettis? And I had no idea who she was. No idea. Because this was after like 3 months into my business. And I was like, I don't even know this person. So I looked her up on Facebook, and I wasn't friends with her at the time. And it said that she was with Scentsy. So I was like, okay, well, wait a minute. I think I know this name. So I logged on my workstation, and of course she was my superstar director. And I was like, oh my gosh, she is. And I literally shared this on my Facebook. I said, she is the superstar director of Scentsy. Like, there's no other one but Karen, right? So at that moment, that's when Karen and I kind of figured out who she was and all that. And I looked at her, and I saw her story with Luke and how she was a prior military spouse, and how, Steve's retired now, and they're living, they have freedom. And I was like, oh my God, I want that. I can have that. If Karen has that, I want that. And that's just how my mind works. Now, if you look at somebody and you compare your life to theirs, get away. Stop following that person, get away. You want somebody that you can look at and be like, I want what she has, and I'm going to attach myself to her and figure out how to do what she did to get to that point. Right. So that's what I did. And guess what? I'm 8 years into this business, retiring my husband with brain cancer, having freedom. You see how that works? So you could be that person for a brand new consultant and give them hope that they can get out of debt, that they can overcome hard times, that they can have financial freedom, that they can have freedom in general, that they can pay off student loans, or they can stay at home with their kids. Whatever that is for them, you can be that resource. You can be that tool for them. But it's you needing to let go of fear and to let go of what people may think about you, and just show up. Show up on social media. Show up for 1, for you, and 2, for your team, or take that back. 1 for you, 2 for your customers, and 3 for your team. Because that's what's going to help you get more comfortable. And when you keep doing it over and over and over, I don't care if you talk about what your favorite color is on social media. At least you're showing up and you're talking about it. And the more times you show up and you talk about your favorite color, or what the weather is today, or what exercise you like to do, the more comfortable you're going to be. The only time I want to see anyone get comfortable is when they're truly becoming their authentic self on social media and they're talking about hard things. Any other time, don't be comfortable in life, because life will throw you curveballs if you're comfortable. And if you're comfortable in this business, you're going to get stagnant. So we don't do comfortable, except for when we're getting comfortable with becoming uncomfortable. My team hears me say that all the time. You need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable in this company, because if you're comfortable, you are stagnant and there's not going to be any growth. So I challenge all of you to figure out who you're talking to on social media. And if you don't know, find those people. And if you're brand new-ish, or even if you're not brand new-ish and you're stuck in your business, you have to remember, opportunities, they don't just leave. They don't just stop. But you stopped. If you feel like the opportunities in your business is stuck, it's not your business, it's not the opportunities, it's you. If you're not showing up on social media, or if you're not trying Instagram stories, if you're not trying to post less marketing and more personal pictures, if you're not trying to be vulnerable, you are missing out on a completely different side of your business. You are you are literally giving somebody else the opportunity to grow, because you are choosing to sit back and to not try new things. So I challenge you, figure out who your audience is on social media. And if you've stuck with who if you're stuck within your family and friends, listen, it's time to outgrow them. And it's time to find a new company. The family of McDonald's and Target, yeah, they support them, but that's not going to keep them in business. The more people that you have not following you, but the more people that you have that aren't your family and friends, those are going to be people that keep coming around. Not just your family. I will tell you right now, I think 2 of my family members buy from me, and the rest buy from one of my star directors. One of my family members buy from one of my star directors. But it's okay. It's okay, because I have other people that I have grown with and I have met over the 8 years that support my business. Strangers are more likely to support your business than your own family and friends. Remember that. So figure out who you're talking to. Build relationships with those people. Like they're not just a paycheck to you. And share you through your social media. Share your business. Share how Scentsy is impacting your life, and not just marketing pictures. Like, take a selfie every once in a while. I do not care if you look a hot mess. I don't care, because that's real. I don't care if you don't have a bra on, like during a training. I don't care. Just show up. Show up for you, show up for your customers, and show up for your team, because how you start doing it is what your team is going to start doing. My group hears this all the time. Don't ask your team to do stuff that you're not doing. So if you're like, well, I'm stagnant in my business, but I want you to go do 2,000 in sales, and I want you to go recruit a new team member, but you haven't done it. You know what that's called? It's called being a hypocrite. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. Whatever you ask your team to do, you should be doing. So if your team is posting marketing pictures and you don't want them to do that, take a step back. Give yourself a reality check. All right, have I posted marketing pictures? Am I setting a good example? Gotta give yourself reality checks. That's the beauty of being a leader. You have to give your own reality checks sometimes and take a step back. But I challenge y'all to go live. And another thing, and I say this to all my team members, when you're doing trainings, like, I'm not saying take a picture of this and share on social media, but whenever you do trainings, whenever you send get happy mail from your upline or another Scentsy consultant or even a downline, share that too. That's a part of your journey. I know Karen doesn't like the recognition, but I'd give it to her anyways, because that's part of my journey, because Karen's a part of my journey. My group is a part of my journey. So anytime that I get any happy mail from her or any happy mail from my team, I share it, because you know what that's going to do? That's also going to show people that they're going to be a part of a community who love each other and respect each other and cheer for each other. And they want to be a part of that. They're like, oh my gosh, I want that. I need that in my life. I guarantee you, if you start doing that, people are going to start being like, I want to know how to be a part of this. How do I get a part of this? And all you got to do, listen, girl, I'll show you. I will show you. It is not hard. There are so many consultants in this business who overcomplicate things when all it needs to be is simple. One of our core values, it just needs to be simple. Trust me, I've gotten into the whole, like, wrapped up into what's this leader doing, or what's that consultant doing, and I want to do that, and I need to do this. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because that's when it gets messy, and that's when you take away from your best authentic self. Take a step back. Keep it simple. Share you through social media. Share you, whatever you are on social media, it also better be how you are in person. Like, what you guys get from me on here is exactly what you're going to get in person, but I may be a lot louder and a lot more crazier and a lot more like hyper, but that's fine. But that's just who I am. And people will need to see you. They need to see you. And you know what? Like I said, you may give somebody that hope that you don't even know. Like, you could have somebody that's been watching you for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And finally they're going to take that leap because you've showed up every single day and you're showing your face and you're showing your story. There was one girl, she's my best example. She was at my very first launch party. That was a freaking bust. Nobody ordered. It was awful. I came home crying, but she was there. Guess what? It took her 7.5 years to finally join. But that was because she saw my journey, like my real authentic journey through every crazy thing that has happened in my life. So you never know who's watching you. You never know who you could give hope to. And don't let fear hold you back from growth, because that's when the beauty and the magic happens, is in the messy part of growth. Growth is scary. Being uncomfortable is very scary. Trust me. I used to hate coming. When I did trainings, it would just be my, whatchamacallit, Karen, we used to do this, just slides, and you would just hear our voice. Like, I would never want to show our face. But guess what? That comes with growth. That comes with getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? So live your best life. Scentsy isn't all the things. Like, Scentsy isn't just your life, okay? Like, you need to use Scentsy as a pedestal to get to where you want in life. But it's not your entire life, okay? So don't revolve your life around Scentsy. That was one thing that I have learned. Don't revolve your life around Scentsy. Scentsy needs to revolve its life around you, basically. Like, you make the rules for your business. Use it as a stepping stone to get out of debt, to have freedom, to pay for the school and to be at home with your kid. Use it as a stepping stone. But you have to put in the work on social media and behind the scenes, not just on social media. I need to say that. Behind the scenes too. Like, those relationships behind the scenes. And attract the people that you want on your team. Like, of course, you're going to probably have those crazy ones that join your team and they do nothing. Or the ones that are like, oh my God, like, you could train them till you're blue in the face. And they're like, I didn't get any training. Trust me, I've had those. Bless and release this and work with the people that want to work with you. Okay. And then use your story is your tool. Like, that's your power. Nobody can ever take that from you. And if you guys don't understand like what we mean by your story, or like your purpose and your why, that's the thing that's going to get you out of bed every day. Like, that's the thing that's going to kick those sheets off the bed. You're going to jump out of bed. You're going to grab your coffee and you're going to be ready to work, because you know what? Today is the one step closer to what I want in life. If that's your why, that's the why that you want to attach yourself to and work towards. Not, I want to earn $200 a month, or not, I want 200 PRV, or not those things. Those are great goals. Don't get me wrong. But if I said I need to get $200 in PRV a month, that is not going to get me out of bed. I'm going to actually probably roll out of bed, dragging. I need something that's going to get me up and going every single day. And you know what that is? It's my family. First, it's my family. But it's the confidence too that I get when I start doing that, when I start getting excited. And yes, I talk a lot with my hands, by the way. But it's the freedom that we are earning because I'm showing up. And I'm showing up for myself, my customers, and my team every day. I'm showing up, even a hot mess. I walk around my house and I talk with my phone, and it's so funny because I probably look so crazy and weird, but I don't care. So show up. And stop living in fear of what people are going to think of you on social media, because they're judging you anyways, sis. They're judging you anyways. Stop sharing marketing pictures. Get away from, they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong, Scentsy. I love that you do that for us. But listen, and I've tried this. A marketing picture may get 1 to 2 likes, but if I share a personal picture with my crazy decor that I talked about, that's going to get over 100 and something likes. What am I going to start doing? And I have proof of that. Like, I'm not just spitting numbers here. I have proof. My pictures are in our catalog. So am I going to stick with marketing pictures, or am I going to stick with real life pictures that are relatable to people and that people want to see? Again, think of McDonald's. It's beautiful on the marketing picture, but it's a mess when you get it and you sit there and you open it up and you complain. You're like, why is my ketchup everywhere? Why is my pickle sliding off? It's a mess, right? I don't even eat that kind of McDonald's, but you know what I mean? Like, I've seen it. So don't give them the pretty picture on marketing. Give them your picture. Give them your picture. And if you guys don't feel like you guys can give enough or make a pretty picture, just look on Pinterest, look on Instagram, type in Scentsy Snapshot. They're there to use. If you guys don't have a certain warmer that you know will attract your customers, go on Scentsy Snapshot. I don't know, go on my page. I probably have it. I love decorating all the warmers. I get them all with my host rewards. And share it. Share it. That's all you have to do. And don't just be like, oh my God, buy 5 bars, get 1 free. No, don't do that. Stay away from that. My customers know that there's a buy 5, get 1 free, but I never market it that way. They'll be like, I want 4 bars. I'll be like, listen, I'll do you one better. If you do 1 more, I'll throw another one in for free. How does that sound versus buy 5, get 1 free? No, if you pick 1 more for $5, I will throw another one in there for free. Same with the whole bundling stuff. Because when they order a warmer with 2 bars, I'm like, listen, I'll do you one better and I'll save you some money. And how I'm talking to you is literally how I talk to my customers. It's probably annoying to some, but it's fine. But it's just all in how you present it to them. It's attraction marketing. Stay away from the bundles, okay? Like, you don't have to market those. Half of the time, people don't even know we have bundles with warmers and body wash or counter clean and all of that. No, you need to be the one to market it. But you don't have to share the marketing stuff. All you have to say is, listen, I'll do you one better. If you want 2, I'll do you one better. I'll save you a little bit of money and we can make it a 3-pack for you. Or if they want 2 full-size warmers and, I don't know, 4 bars, like, I'll do you one better. Like, listen, let me hook you up. I say that all the time. Let me hook you up. I'll do a personal bundle for you, and it's this and this with the 6 bars, and it's our bundle and save. But the fact that I say, let me hook you up with this personal special, it's a game changer. And when it comes to our, our host exclusive kit, I don't ever call it a host exclusive kit. I call it a VIP exclusive kit. I have a VIP exclusive kit available for a certain amount of hours, which I know that's a lie, don't judge me, but it attracts them because they're like, oh, what does she have? What is that? Why is it only a certain amount of hours? Is it that special? And sometimes, a lot of the time, it starts a conversation. Doesn't always get them to join, I will be honest, but it gets their attention. And that's my point. That's when the conversation of joining starts. When I say there's a VIP exclusive kit and I only have it for 48 hours or 24 hours. Depends on how froggy I'm feeling. But it attracts them. And then I'll get messages. Chelsea, what is this VIP exclusive kit? I'd be like, hey, do you want, like, it's just, you can join for free. You can literally join for free. Or you can join for whatever amount that I have that I can take off. Or I'll be like, I have this much, I can have this discounted on a kit for you right now. And even if they don't join, guess what it does? It plants a seed in their head. It gets a conversation started. And it works. It works sometimes. It works enough for me to continue doing it. Now, it may not work for you, and that's okay. Like I said, you're forever going to be evolving in this business when it comes to figuring out who you're talking to. But you have to figure out, again, that why. When you figure out your audience, stay away from marketing photos, stay away from them. I love you, Cincy, but stay away from the marketing photos. Like I keep telling them, just take personal pictures and show it. That's all you have to do. And then share your personality through your posts. Again, stay away from that. Buy 5, get 1 free. Go to my link. Don't do that. Don't stop. Facebook will stop your link and block it. If you continue to share your link over and over, Facebook will block it. Have them message you. My customers always get a message from me, or they'll message me because that's the conversations that I want. It's that attraction marketing. I want them to message me. In my Instagram stories, I always say, DM me for more information or whatever I say. On my pictures on Facebook, it's always message me. Message me. Or if I see them liking my stuff, I message them. No big deal. But don't post your link on social media because they will block it. And plus, if they personally message you, you know what happens? You start showing up in their algorithm. Like your stuff will start showing up because you're personally messaging them. Did you guys know that? That when you have private conversations through Messenger on Facebook, you will start showing up in their algorithm. So the more conversations that you have with people, the more likely you're going to show up. And guess what? The more likely they're going to start watching you. So take that in. Don't just comment on things with people. Message them. Have a conversation. And don't just stop with one conversation. Have multiples. You should be following up, right? So those follow-ups will keep you having that conversation and showing up on their algorithm. So do that. Do that. It's fun. It's fun because then you start seeing you start seeing that they are looking at your stuff. And you're going to start seeing your Instagram stories and your Facebook stories, because you can see who's following you and watching. You'll start seeing your customers watching your stuff and hearting your stuff and sharing also. Have your customers share the products that they've gotten from you, or any happy mail that they've gotten from you, not just from your team and stuff. That's great too. Share that, but also with your customers, because people have messaged me and said, I want happy mail that you've sent. What are these Scentsy Club things that you're sending people? What is Scentsy Club? And that opens up a whole other conversation that I won't get into. But it's attraction marketing. People want what other people have. And when you start having your customers tag you in stories and on Facebook and all these things, people are seeing that. And it's going to attract them to you. Attract them to your business and then into your life, most importantly. Because again, they're not just a paycheck to you. These are people, not paychecks. So there's so many ways that you guys can market I don't want to say the right way, but the right way. There's so many different ways to do it the right way. There's a lot of other reasons to do it the wrong way. And I've already shared some of those things. So this week, I don't know if y'all have homework on here, but share you through social media. Share you. Like, show up. Show up every single day, even on the hard days. Show up. And I want y'all to take pictures of your stuff, and like sharing, like having Instagram stories. I changed my wax. Like, I'm not live, but I'm sharing in my stories, me changing my wax, explaining our wax, our warmers, our cotton cleanups. People watch me clean my clothes. People watch me clean my counters. It's like free TV for people sometimes. And sometimes it's comical. Maybe sometimes it's boring for people, but guess what? I'm consistent. I'm showing up. And it shows me using our products. Let me see what time it is real quick. It shows me, I'm over my time. It shows me using our products. And if you're not using our products, but you're marketing them, stop. You should not be marketing something that you have not personally experienced, because the thing that's going to truly sell and attract people is your personal experience with things. Your personal experience. And the fact that I am in a hotel room and I have two wall fans. I have our Scentsy Fresh. I have our counter clean. I bring that with me for marketing purposes. Because I can say, listen, you can take this crap anywhere. If you're going on vacation and you don't want to go buy cleaning products, I got you. Or you need night lights for that hotel, I got you. Like with some scent, I got you. It's just all about marketing. And it's all about how you market it and share through your life. Your life. Like I said about 5 times now, let Scentsy be a part of your life. Don't revolve your life around Scentsy. And if you're stuck, if you feel like the opportunity has stuck, you need to take a step back, because guess what? It's because you have stopped. You've stopped the opportunity. You've stopped working. You've stopped evolving. So now it's time to stop. Stop with the excuses of you're scared with social media. I just had one of my newer certified consultants. She just went live for the first time on Instagram, and she was so scared. And she called me. She goes, Chelsea, I'm so scared. I just talked on Instagram, and I'm about to go back and delete it. And I said, you better not delete it. And I said, watch how many people actually listen. And guess what? She had over 50 people watch that. 50 people. That is amazing to me. And she was like, okay, I'm going to do it in a few more days. I was like, keep doing it. Just show up and talk. I don't care if it makes sense. Just show up and talk. So when you continue to do something and you show up in your best authentic self and your true you shines through your phone and your computer and your business and all these things, it's going to get easier. But let go of fear. Let go of the fear of what people are going to think about you. Let it go. Stop assuming that they don't want to hear what you have to say. Stop assuming that you don't bring anything to the table, because you do. You're here right now on this training. You obviously bring something to the table, or you wouldn't be a part of this group. You wouldn't be a part of Scentsy, right? You would have went inactive if you didn't bring something to the table. So figure out your why. Take fun pictures or use other people's pictures. And show up for you, and show up for your customers, and show up for your team, because how you work is how it's going to reflect into your business, and how you feel and how you share your journey is going to reflect into your business, and figure out your audience and how you can best serve them. That's really all it is. And then let yourself evolve, let yourself learn. You have to just play around with social media and learn. There's so many amazing trainings out there for this stuff. Just get out there and try. Because worst thing that's going to happen is that it's not going to work for you and you're going to have to try something new. But that's when growth happens. So that's all I have. So I'm going to hand it back over to Karen.
I'm going to ask you a couple questions. You know, you said take your own pictures or use someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like it's free reign if someone shares a picture?
I think that goes off of the type of consultant. I don't care if people use my pictures.
Right. No, I know.
So if it's on the Scentsy snapshot that people tag,
Yep.
In my opinion, that's free reign. Like, they did that for a purpose. They wanted people to see it. They wanted Scentsy to see it. Now, if it's someone's personal picture, like if you see their family or kids or their selves in the pictures, don't use that picture. I have literally had that happen and I didn't feel comfortable with it. But if it's just a picture of a warmer or something, and it's on someone's social media and you know that they took it, if you want, just ask them, hey, I love your picture. May I please use it? But if it's on Scentsy Snapshot, that, in my opinion, is free reign. I tell people, don't even ask to use my pictures. As long as it doesn't have myself or my kids or any of my family members in it, you can use it. And usually I will share it within my group and then on the What Did You Share page. But it depends on what I'm like trying to market.
This is a huge pet peeve of mine. When people ask me on my post, we'll use Facebook as an example. When you're take a picture and you share it, and then you have 3 people say, "Can I use this picture? Can I use this picture?" That's a huge pet peeve of mine. Yes, you can use it. Send me a message if you want to ask, but you're messing with my mojo here. You know? Do you agree?
No, that's a huge thing, and I try to like push that into my group. Like, just you don't have to ask me. Like, you don't have to ask, just use it as long as I'm not in it or my family's not in it. But I will remove those comments and then I'll message them and say, hey, you can use my picture. And that's usually all I say. But it's all about just ask. If you want to use someone's picture that's not on Scentsy Snapshot, just ask. Because there's so many amazing pictures that float around social media. There is no reason why you should be using a marketing picture unless it is stuff like Monsters Inc. stuff that literally is coming out that nobody has pictures of. But Scentsy's getting a little bit better in that area where they're taking more personal, real life photos versus marketing. But if you absolutely have to, but you also need to be careful that Facebook can also use that as spam. It depends. Like, if you continue using like the same picture that is every Scentsy consultant using, be careful, because Facebook can mark that as spam and they will say that that's a no-no, and then they can remove your stuff. So what I do when it comes to that, I only post it in my my customer page, which is a private page, and then I'll share it in my stories, and I'll make it different than what is being shared in other people's stories. That way it's still getting shared and my customers know about it. I send it through email too. I've been doing a lot of emails. I've kind of been taking steps back and working a lot more through email. And I show it that way. So just be careful also what you're sharing if it's marketing pictures, because you don't want to get that like taken down because 100 bajillion other Scentsy consultants are sharing the exact same picture on the exact same moment on the exact same day. So just be cautious of that. But yes, that is a huge pet peeve of mine.
Mine too. Another question, when you were talking about finding your audience, like who are you talking to? Mm-hmm. I know, we have consultants and emerging leaders and leaders who have been with Scentsy for a very long time. And in some cases, if they have made Scentsy everything in their life, their whole audience on social media is Scentsy consultants. do you have, and to me that speaks to, you need to expand your circle, right? And I can give you some ways you need to do that. But what is your piece of advice in that situation? Because marketing to Scentsy consultants is not going to help your business grow.
Right. So I will say, and this is real life numbers. So when I was in that mindset of I'm not a high PRV consultant, all that stuff, the way that my Facebook was, it was a lot of Scentsy consultants, which is fine. Yep. And my Instagram was a lot of Scentsy consultants, which is fine. But it was like all I was seeing was Scentsy stuff on my algorithm. So, when I realized that I wasn't talking to my audience, and I was talking to Scentsy consultants, I started unfollowing, not unfriending, unfollowing a lot of Scentsy consultants. That way they're out of my algorithm. I'm still friends with them. If I want to see what they're doing today, I will go to their Facebook or their Instagram. But I started unfollowing them, and I started making sure that I followed my customers and the people who like are not my customers, but somebody I'm trying to talk to, like I'm trying to attract. So I started following them. That way they're showing up on my algorithm and I'm interacting with them. So when I did that, I would go from like 1,000, 1,500 PRV. Y'all, I was that consultant that lied to herself and said, you cannot have high PRV because you're a rock star recruiter. I lied to myself. So I would have about 1,500 PRV. So when I started making that shift and continuing to, like, you can't just make it once. You have to continue doing that. Like when Scentsy consultants friend you, it's fine, but don't follow them. You want to continue following your family, your friends, your customers, and all the referrals that you get, all the people from any parties, any Facebook parties, you want to follow them. Not just friend them, but follow. That way you're liking, you're commenting, you're having interactions with them. So you also show up on their algorithm. So when I started doing that and I stayed consistent, to this day, I still do that. My PRV has gone from 1,500 to over 6,000 PRV because now people are seeing my stuff and I'm seeing their stuff and I'm communicating and I'm building those relationships and I'm having those private conversations through Messenger and I'm on their algorithm now. So now they're seeing me and they're seeing my stories and they're wanting to know what's next, Chelsea, what's going on. So, and whenever I'm not active on social media, they know something's wrong. And it's so funny. They're like, you haven't posted in a few days. Are you okay? Are you alive? So it's the relationships, but that's proof. Like, I'm not kidding. Karen can look at the numbers, 1,500 to over 6,000 PRV. And that's because I stopped following Scentsy consultants. I love you, Scentsy, but y'all are tearing up my algorithm here. But I follow my customers and they follow me. It's sometimes on my customer page, or on not my customer page, in my emails, I always say, make sure that you follow me. We're friends, but make sure you follow. There's a follow button that you can click to make sure that you're up to date with all the fun Scentsy stuff or personal stuff. So make sure that you let them know too, that they follow you. So you fall into their algorithm. And it's not weird to say that. It's social media. That's 2020, y'all. Nothing's weird anymore. It's all weird. So, but yeah, that's what I do is unfollow, or I don't unfriend, but I will unfollow. And I will only follow my friends, family, and my team members. I will follow my team members just to build that relationship with them. But most importantly, my family, friends, and my customers, and my potential customers, potential recruits, all of them.
A couple of questions. If you do you have a second for them?
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Okay. When, like, this is great advice. I love that. Yes. Rachel loves nosing around your house when you walk around on. Love it, Chelsea. Claps. Thank you. Okay. Questions. How often do you email customers, and do you do a monthly newsletter from, or what's your mojo with them? How do you have a rhythm to it or not?
I feel like my rhythm always changes because there's so much happening right now with Scentsy. I feel like if I do a monthly newsletter, I'm missing out on things. So what I do is I do a scent of the month every single month. So that is monthly, right? So if I'm doing any monthly personal sales, that is on there. That is on there with scent and warmer of the month. But then with all these LTOs, this is very important because the LTO times and dates change, just like what just happened, right? I quickly had to send out an email to everybody. So I already prepped for the villains and stuff to come out on the 25th or 6th or whatever it was. I had already prepped, like that had already gone out. So what I did is I had to post on my customer page and I emailed everybody and I said, oh my gosh, huge exciting news. Scentsy knew how much you guys wanted these warmers and they're coming, or this warmer in this collection, Scentsy's bringing it out early. Like even though it made Scentsy consultants all frustrated and all the things, the fact that even though I was like, crap, I had just, hi Lauren, even though I had just sent out all these emails for the pre-orders for like the 25th and 26th or whatever, I had to switch my whole mindset and I was like, I have to make them excited. I have to kind of lie to my customers and be like, Scentsy saw that you guys want all of this warmer in this collection. They're bringing it out early. I had to make it a huge deal. So I had to quickly email all my customers. And what I do for there is I make it on MailChimp and then I copy it and then I put it through my email on my workstation. Now there's other probably easier ways. You just got to find something that works for you, but that's what I do. And I create stuff in Canva as well. So I had to do that. That was something
Wait, say that again. You make it in MailChimp, but you don't send it through MailChimp. You then cut and paste it into the workstation email.
Yeah. It's just, it works for me. Again, there's probably a much easier way, but I have found my groove with that for now. And maybe in a year or two, I may find something that's easier. And I also, like I said, make stuff in Canva too that I'll attach to it. But it's stuff like that. So yes, scent and warmer of the month, all of that stuff goes in there. And if I'm doing any personal specials, which I do personal specials every single month, then that goes in there. And then also my Scentsy Club people, they get emails and stuff, but they get certain things extra because they are club members. So I send out certain happy mails for them, but the emails is once a month with LTOs. Now, if there's no LTOs, which I'm kind of over LTOs right now, but they're a blessing in disguise. But if it's just a no LTO month, sometimes I'll throw in a surprise email. It just depends on how froggy I'm feeling. Or if I've hit my goal, this is something that I know I do. If I've hit my goal of PRV that I've set for myself for the month, I'm going to do a surprise for my customers. And I'm going to try to double that by doing something special or sharing those personal specials that are AKA bundle and saves. And it works. It just works for me. And it's also how you know your customers, what's going to attract your customers too. And that's also the relationships that you have with those customers. But yeah, that's the email stuff. Yes, it is guaranteed every single month with scent and warmer and personal specials. But LTOs, those are literally like, that goes out and sometimes the dates change and you have to send out a fun surprise email like, oh my God, Scentsy's changing the date because they know how much you've been wanting this and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, the emails are fun, but they take time. So don't expect it to just be done like that. Like it takes time. You're going to have to set time aside. I call it business time, business hours. I set that time aside and my kids and my husband know that. And they know that don't mess with mama when she's trying to make her mail stuff. Just don't.
But along with that, Vicky's asking, when you do that email through MailChimp and you send it through the workstation, does it keep the formatting and the images?
Yes. So okay, so I'm going to try to explain this the best way that I can without it sounding confusing. So if you go and you do a preview of your mail, it's going to show up on it looks like a phone, right? You're going to click mobile, like it's going to say computer, inbox, or mobile or something like that. Click mobile, copy and paste it, and then put it in your workstation email. Like it shows up just like that. It's my friend Danny showed me that a few years back, and ever since then I was like, this is genius. I don't have to do anything besides copy and paste. Now,
I totally didn't know that. I feel like she's holding out on me.
Listen, I will try to do a screenshot. Well, I don't have my laptop here, but when I am back home, I will do a video and I will share it or send it to Karen of how I do it. That way it's easy.
Yeah,
but
that'd be
literally,
awesome.
Once you create it and you do preview, it'll show up and then all you do is click mobile and copy and then paste it into your email.
Totally trying that.
Or you can do email. You can click email and copy, and it's just whatever you're fancy.
Okay, couple more questions. Do you have a business page or strictly your personal page?
So I have a private customer page that I've had since day one. So it's 8 years old. And it's still active to this day. I think Sarah Myers is on here, and she's in my customer page too, in case like life happens and I need help. But it's still active to this day. And it's just, that's what works. That's where I can do personal specials. That's where I share my VIP stuff. But I also share Scentsy on my personal page, but I share life stuff on my personal page, and it ties in with Scentsy. Like, that's where I tie Scentsy in my personal life and how Scentsy has helped me. And if you guys aren't on my Facebook page and knowing what I'm talking about, just send me a friend request. I'll add you. But I won't follow you. Love you, but I won't follow you. I'll be your friend. But I have my customer page where that's where I share a lot of, like, before anything launches. That's where I share it all first. I go live there first. I do all the things there first before sharing it to the world. That's what I do.
What about, is your Instagram private or public?
It's private, and the reason why it's private is due to military purposes, because my husband being active duty Marine Corps. So that's why that's private. That's something I've always done. Now, when he gets out, I don't know how it's going to be. Don't know, but it's private. But if I go onto your page and I see that you're a Scentsy consultant, or if I see that we have mutual Instagram friends, I'll add you, or I'll accept your request. But if you're like Joe Schmo from, I don't know, where Mama's Boy lives, I'm not adding you, because who knows what your intentions are. So, but I don't think any of y'all have that.
Last question I see. Can you give some examples of what you do extra for your club or for those consistent LTO? Oh, wait, there's one more question after that.
Okay, that's fine. The kids they're watching a movie, so they're solid right now. And I've had way too much caffeine today. So my club members, this is something that I love doing. I get like so excited for my club people. So depending on who orders that month, they get a club box. So I actually just shared it on my Instagram a few days ago, but I had one of my boxes, my little white box that I got from Amazon, thanks to Karen. She showed me where to get them from. And it had a bunch of crinkle paper in it and some crap ton of confetti, because that's what you get from me, is a crap ton of confetti. But I put in there, I put, extra body scrubs that I had, like Scentsy body scrubs. And I put that in there. I put candy in there. I put like face mask. I had these little loofahs that I got from Five and Below. They're like little ones, put in there. And what else did I put in there? There was something else that I put in there that I can't remember. A bath bomb. I put a bath bomb in there. And I wrote on the box, like nothing fancy. And I said, I appreciate you. And I put a heart. And then I have this little flyer that I put in there is, I can't contain my excitement because you're one of my club members, blah, blah, blah. And I just throw that on top with some more confetti. Literally, when I say confetti, like they get confetti bombed all the time. And then I could put it out. But every month it's different, but it's something extra. I do tie Scentsy into it, like Scentsy products, because what I want them to try new products so they can buy more. Next month I've considered putting in, I know this is probably out of people's budgets, but I've earned the right to do this. Like, I worked very hard to be able to do these big extra things for my customers. But I've always done things extra for my customers. So to start off, if it doesn't fit into your budget, don't put more out that you like get in, right? So something that I started was scent circles. So if you have club members, send them a scent circle. Y'all just put a stamp on it and send it out. Also, what you can do is, if you have any extra bars sitting around, this is how I get a lot of my stock out, is by my club boxes, is by putting extra bars in there and just sending them out. Yes, it does cost money to ship it out. It costs, I think, around, well, it depends on what I'm sending. It's about, I don't know, $5 to $8, depending on the weight. I do weigh all my stuff at home. I ship it out from my house. But it's also tax write-offs. So that's where I justify, I'm like, it's tax write-offs. But I also put certain money back every single month for extra things like this. So budget for it. Like if you want to do stuff like this, budget for it and figure out what works best for your stuff, your budget. But take extra bars, or y'all make extra samples. 2 months ago, I made extra samples because I had a lot of Scentsy soak left over. So I made about good size samples and I threw that in there for them. And then I threw scent circles in there for them. Candy and confetti is a huge thing with me. Face mask, all of that. I've done My Business Would Suck Without You, and I made like little succulent cards. I did that for my 8-year anniversary, where I shared that my very first scent I ever warmed was black raspberry vanilla. And I just did little extra things go a long way if you're consistent with it. If you're consistent, I'm gonna say, if you are consistent, like don't just do it 1 month. And if you don't get anything in return, don't stop, like continue doing it.
Well, and for those who don't realize, the beauty of giving a little extra to those VIP or those club subscribers is they're guaranteed PRV every 1, 2, or 3 months. That is a group you want to grow. I mean, I believe they said we could share the number. There's a couple there's a couple consultants that have over, is it 300?
200
subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers every month who are doing a club subscription. Think about the PRV.
Yep. And my goal was, when I started focusing a lot on the club, was I wanted at least a guaranteed 1,000 PRV every single month. I'm almost there, because I'm doing these extra things and people are like, oh, how do I get that? How do I get in the club? What? Because my customers share it on social media and they tag me and they love it. And then their family and friends see it and they're like, how do I get that? Or, oh my gosh, I need a new Scentsy lady. So it's attraction marketing, y'all. Like people want what other people have. Yeah. But you do not have to do the big and the grand. Like I only do that for certain people. Okay. Certain people, the club people, the people that are consistent every month with me or bi-monthly or every quarter. But do things that work within your budget. I don't care if you make a few extra more samples and send it to them. Guess what? That's going to be a big thing for them. That's going to be a big thing. Even sending a handwritten thank you card. One of my customers said, I loved all the things that you sent, but my favorite thing was the handwritten note. And I was like, fine, you're going to get a handwritten note from me all the time now, because I now know her love language. You also need to know their love language. Another thing one compliment that I have strived for every single time is you never push things on me. Never. You don't ever have to push things. If you just gift it to them, they're going to try it. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. So that was one of the biggest compliments that I love getting in this company, whether it's recruiting somebody or having them buy from me, is I never push anything on them. Never. It's just simply about sharing and just getting the product. I always say get the product underneath their nose, but then that sounds really weird because now that we have more products and you don't want to put washer whiffs up their nose. Like it's just not, no. But wax and stuff, you want to get in their nose because that's how they're going to experience it. Your customers can't experience something they've never tried unless you send samples. Send samples to them. Scentsy has samples for y'all. Just invest into it and send it out.
Absolutely.
Try.
All right, a couple other questions really quick. And do you do giveaways? And if so, what items work and who gets entered in the giveaways?
No, I've never done a giveaway. Nope, I feel like I don't need to because I do so many other little things for my customers. So I don't do giveaways. So
Alex wants to know who is also pinning, trying to guess what they've got this little competition going, trying to figure out what the LTO warmer is going to be this year. And Alex is convinced that it's a Peanuts warmer. He had some dream that it's a Charlie Brown Peanuts warmer. So it's this ongoing conversation nonstop with him. But he would like to know, like, we're talking about taking a trip to Louisiana in a couple weeks, and he just would like to know if you'd like to jump in my suitcase and go with.
Go.
Okay.
Let's go. I'm going to leave now.
Okay. And then last thing, Rachel, we were talking about Scentsy Club. All right, you guys, we are over the hour, and We've held you guys
That's
a
what
long time
happens.
tonight.
That's what happens when Chelsea auto trains. We go way over.
That's what happens every Tuesday on Taco Tuesday. So anyways, not every, but a lot. Let's see.
But that's kind of what you want, though. That means they're interacting.
Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Yay. Okay.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you
just
so
now
much.
looking at the chat, so I'm
All
just like,
right.
wait a minute, look at all these numbers. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us, Chelsea. You're fantastic.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I just love you guys.
We love you. All right, you guys, work it Wednesday tomorrow, noon Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern if you want to join us. We do have book club tomorrow night. We are almost done with book club, thank the Lord. And it's a really good book. It's just like one was like month end, we canceled 1 week, and then we canceled another week for something. So now like we were super hyped up and amped up in the beginning of book club, and now it's like, oh, let's just get through it.
This is why I don't read books.
It's but here's the thing, like we have our own wine glasses, and it's not your mother's book club or your grandmother's book club, trust me, it's not. So
but then you have wine glasses, and if you're drinking too much wine, how do you finish the book?
Well, we only do a chapter at a time.
Listen, how do you even get I couldn't even get through a chapter. I'd be
This
talking.
is what we're reading.
Well, we're reading chapters right now.
I
I
know.
listened to it.
It's so good. So it's totally not like your grandma's book club, trust me. So anyways, but it does take a while to get through a chapter sometimes because there's a lot of chatting going on. All right.
Karen, we're rereading chapters.